Hello, fellow e-bike friends, and welcome back to another episode of Electrified Reviews. I hope you're having a great day so far, and I hope that you are feeling the happy holiday spirit. Today, we are reviewing the Paselec GS9 full suspension electric bike. This is without a question a value buy e-bike. It's got a starting price of $1,499 USD, but Paselec made sure to cram as much as they possibly could into this ride. Besides full suspension, it also has hydraulic disc brakes, a pretty solid integrated headlight, a locking, removable battery housed inside the frame, and internally routed wires. Oh, and Paselec is offering a 1-year comprehensive warranty, 2-year for the battery, and 5-year for the frame, which is just way above average for e-bikes at this price point. There's a lot of good things to talk about with this e-bike, so let's dive into the specs. The Paselec GS9 has a 500 nominal watt hub motor in the rear wheel that can bring this e-bike up to a top speed of around 28 miles per hour. This is just the right amount of power for cruising through town or hitting some light trails. It's got enough oomph to flatten out big hills, and because it's 500 watts, it's not going to gulp down the battery too quickly. You can reach the top speed of 28 miles per hour with the thumb throttle, which is on the right side of the handlebars, or the cadence sensing pedal assist. Most cadence sensors have a bit of a latency with motor activation and deactivation, and the Paselec GS9 is no exception. Thankfully, the throttle is live from 0 miles per hour and the brakes have motor inhibitors built in. In other words, it's pretty easy to take manual control of the motor if you need to. The battery on the Paselec GS9 is a 48-volt, 13 amp hour with Panasonic cells for a max estimated range of around 50 miles in perfect riding conditions. The battery is housed inside the down tube, which again is pretty amazing for an e-bike at this price point, and it is locking and removable. It slides out at the bottom of the down tube near the cranks, and it's easiest to remove this battery if you flip the bike over onto its handlebars. The frame on the Paselec GS9 is made from 6061 aluminum alloy and weighs in at around 70 pounds. Now, the load capacity here is a bit lower than average at approximately 220 pounds. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is something worth keeping in mind when carrying heavy backpacks or other loads. The front suspension is Paselec branded and has about 80 millimeters of travel, and together with the Paselec branded rear suspension, the GS9 is a pretty smooth ride. This suspension setup works best under light load, but it's not particularly well suited for anything too extreme. Although the GS9 is styled pretty aggressively, it feels most at home on the pavement or on graded dirt trails. In the back of the Paselec GS9, we've got an A5 derailleur with a 9-speed cassette paired with trigger shifters, which is another upgrade point that's really nice to see on an e-bike at this price point. To bring the Paselec GS9 to a stop, we've got A5 hydraulic disc brakes with 160mm rotors in the front and the rear. This is our first time testing A5 brakes, and we're happy to report they've got pretty good stopping power. They've also got motor inhibitors built into the brake levers, which instantly cuts power to the motor whenever they're depressed. This is a great safety feature that ensures you always have the shortest possible stopping distance, which is especially important on an e-bike like this that goes up to 28 miles per hour. The 27.5-inch Kenda CST mountain tires are a welcome departure from the big old 4-inch fat tires that we've been seeing so much of lately, but if fat tires are what you need, you can take a look at the GS9 Plus, which has 4-inch tires and a 750-watt motor for $1,699 USD. The headlight on the Paselec GS9 is a bit brighter than average, but if you plan on doing some night riding, an aftermarket headlight with around 2,000 lumens of output will help you safely navigate around in the dark. Wire management here is great. Everything is bundled tightly together with no loose wires, and they're internally routed. This is pretty cool to see, again, especially with an e-bike at this price point, and especially with the internal battery. The display is pretty bright, and it's easy enough to see in direct sunlight. On the left side of the handlebars, we've got the independent button pad and a bell, and on the right side, we've got the thumb throttle and the trigger shifters. Overall, the Paselec GS9 is one of the best value buy electric bikes we've seen this year, and we're happy to get to share it with you during the holiday season. We appreciate the hydraulic brakes, the full suspension setup, and the internal battery and wires. The GS9 feels like a great choice for those on a budget who don't want to sacrifice quality for an affordable price tag. Alright, awesome peeps, that is it for the review of the Paselec GS9. Now, let's take it out for a ride.